Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in again. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than I normally do. A lot of times I'll do like haul videos or I will do my what sold videos everybody seemed to really like. But from now on I think what I'm going to do is probably a combination of the two. So on Mondays I'm going to try and do a show that is just about like the 10 best things I sold over the weekend and then the 10 best things that I found. That way it combines the two. And the what sold videos were getting a little complicated for me because I was doing them on Mondays, which is good for me to do videos, but that's also when all of that stuff needs to be shipped. So it was getting a little tricky, but I think 10 items should be manageable. And then also I'll show you my 10 best finds over the weekend. That way it gives people a good idea of what I'm picking up and what's selling, and then hopefully the things that I show you that I bought this week will be things that show up in next week's what sold portion of the show. So hopefully I thought maybe that would be kind of a fun and different way to do things. So basically we had a pretty good weekend. We did about $1,000 in sales. Our best day was $345 on eBay. That was actually yesterday. It seems like things are sort of picking back up sales-wise. January isn't like historically the slowest month, but it's also not the busiest. So February is usually when things start to pick up, and then March has always been my absolute best month of the year for the past few years. So right now we're just trying to stock up the store, make sure we have lots of inventory for when people start getting their tax money back. And like I said, sales haven't been terrible or anything, so we also had a few sales on Poshmark, only 3 sales, which is actually kind of slow for Posh, but like I said, I expect things to pick up more this month and then, be really nice and busy in March. So let's go ahead and get started with the top 10 things that sold. Actually, I have 11 things, so I miscounted, but we ended up selling over 50 items on eBay. So these are just the 10 best things. The things that sold for the most amount of money. So the first thing I have here is a White House Black Market dress. And White House Black Market always sells really well for me. It's a really cute dress, like a stretchy material with a tie waist. And this sold for $33.99. And I probably only paid about $4 or $5 for this. I think I got this at Salvation Army with a 30% off coupon. And the next item is also White House Black Market, which, like I said, sells pretty well. This one happens to be new with tags, and it's actually just a pair of like basic blue, like cropped pants. It has like the little cargo pocket, and these sold for $29.99. I'm not sure how much I paid for those. Like something like that, I wouldn't pay more than $5 for. The next thing is a J. Crew top. It's a really small size. It's an extra, extra small petite. So I was kind of nervous about this because it is a really unique size. But it was new with tags. It's a really pretty blouse. And it ended up selling for $24. And the next thing is, this is actually my first time picking up this brand. But I think I remember seeing somewhere that it was a good brand to get. It's Duluth Trading Company, and it's a dress. It's like a really super sturdy, like cotton dress. So this is just really basic. This cost me $5.99 at Goodwill because that's how much our Goodwill charges for dresses. So I paid $5.99, and it sold for, let me find it. Oh, it sold for $33.99. All right, this was another good sale. This was actually another Goodwill dress find, so it was $5.99. But I feel like it's something a lot of people would pass over because it's just kind of basic looking. But it's this flax brand that does really well. But if you look at this, it just looks kind of basic, so I feel like most people would just kind of look it over. But I'm not really sure if it's a dress. It's like more like a super long like tunic because it has this big like slit in the back, so I don't think it could really be worn as a dress, more like a piece that you would like layer over pants or something or leggings. But anyway, so this was $5.99 and it sold for $42.49 plus shipping. And the next thing that we have is, these are my favorite kind of sales. Like, I know for a fact that I paid about 40 cents for this dress. The brand is Premise, and it sold for full asking price for $19.99. So that's a pretty good profit margin on that. And to be honest, at this point now, anything that I'm selling for $19.99 or less, I'm taking best offer off of, because I feel like, I've already priced it low enough where I think it's a decent price. And surprisingly, that stuff has been selling really well. Like, this was one of them that didn't have best offer. Someone just paid $19.99. And it's less work for me because I'm not fielding like lower offers. So that's just one strategy that's worked well for me. Anything over $19.99, I do leave best offer on, just so I have some wiggle room on those items. So the next item is another Salvation Army find. It's an Eileen Fisher sweater, and it's a size extra small. And let's see, this sold for $28.99, and it's just a really basic little cardigan. So Eileen Fisher does really well for me. This was probably like $3 or $4. This next one, I believe I got this at Goodwill, but it's an Ann Taylor loft blazer, and you can tell it's more of like a modern style, which makes a big difference with these sort of things. And so I probably paid about $5.99, or maybe the blazers are $6.99, but it's a size 12. It's really pretty. Career wear is like one of my favorite things to sell. I find I do really well with career wear because it's usually so expensive, so people are always looking for a good deal on it. So this sold for $24.99 plus shipping, because it's heavy, so anything over 16 ounces I do charge shipping on. So that was a decent sale. Then the next thing is, this was a Poshmark item that sold. It is Lane Bryant, a jean jacket. And I've been selling jean jackets like crazy. Like, these sell like really fast for me, so I usually pick them up anytime I find them. This I think I paid like $4.99 for. And it sold for $25 on Posh, which means that my take of that money was $20. So, I made at least $15 off this for profit-wise. And this one's kind of lame, I'm sorry. I don't know why I grabbed this one, but it's just a pair of Free People leggings, like leg warmers that are they're actually really cute. I don't want to open the bag though, or maybe I can. They're, one thing I really like to do is buy things like on clearance from department stores or whatever, especially if it's like end of season. And then I will usually just hold on to them till the season when it's appropriate to sell them. So I got these for super cheap. They were like $5 a pair or something ridiculous. And I bought a ton of them, and then this pair sold for $25 on Posh, so my take of that was $20. And I love buying stuff like that because it's like you only have to make one listing, and you can just set it to multiple quantities, and then that listing just stays active until you're sold out of them. And makes life easy for me because you only have to do one listing, like I said. So those were probably my best sales of the weekend. I know there's not like anything like super exciting, but still being able to do $1,000 in sales with, sales like that, that's fine. I'll take that. All right, so the next thing I wanted to do is show you some of the things that I found, mostly this weekend, but some of the things I found actually during the week too. So, sorry, there's a bunch of noise going on outside because the neighbors are having their roof done. So if you hear any banging or something, that's what's going on out there. All right, so let's get to the things that I found. So one of them was this. Today we found this at a thrift shop. Anything that is at a local thrift shop, anything that is like old Disney from like the older Disney movies seems to do really well, like plush. This is actually a puppet. It's a Pooh from Aladdin. And I'm not sure how much, I only paid $1.99 for it. I'm not sure how much I will get for him. Hopefully at least like $30. He does need to be cleaned up a little bit, but that stuff seems to do pretty well. And then the next thing, we also went to a 96-cent sale at one of our local thrift shops on Friday. And I found some really good things. I found this beautiful Vineyard Vines dress for 96 cents. It was a steal. And actually what happened was we were the first ones in line, like we were the first ones to get there. So I went straight back to the dresses to see, because I usually have pretty good luck with dresses, and I didn't see this back there. And it wasn't until we were checking out that I noticed that like someone had just thrown it like on a rack that was by the register, like they were sorting through their stuff and realized they didn't want it. And I was like, oh, that's mine. So it's really cute, perfect for spring. I love the color of it. So that was 96 cents. I'm hoping to get at least like $30 or so for that, probably on Poshmark, maybe on eBay. This was another 96-cent find, and this was probably my favorite find of from that sale. It's this really cute vintage Escada sweater, and it's got like these little butterflies and bees on it. I've never really seen an Escada piece like this, so I thought it was really cute and unique. So anyway, I'm not even sure how much I can get for that. I'll probably just price it kind of high and see what happens, but for 96 cents, I thought that was a steal. This was so exciting. I've never found one of these before, and I know that people have had really good luck for them. At one point, they were selling for $60 to $70. I'm not sure if they're getting that much now, but it's one of these Free People like decorative cuff shirts. So if you look these up, you'll see that they do pretty well. They're really sought after. I mean, maybe they're not so much anymore, but I still think I could do well on this. And for less than $1, I got that today. That was a good deal. All right, this one is crazy. I'm not sure how I'm going to show this, but I did buy this at a 50% off sale. And this is where like being part of like an online reseller community comes in really handy. I've been seeing a lot of people post about vintage ski suits, like the vintage one-piece, like ski, like outerwear outfit type things. So this one is a Canadian official supplier ski team, but it is definitely vintage. It looks 90s, or maybe late 80s, early 90s, and it's in really super good shape. Let me see if I can show this guy. It even still has like the little ski pass thing on it. So somebody wore this as early as 2003, but it's definitely a 90s piece. But I thought it was cool, and I only paid. The price was $6.99 on it. I only paid $3.50. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm pretty sure people are still skiing this time of year, or maybe this is when the ski season just starts. I've never been skiing. I don't know. So at that same sale, right when I walked in, the first thing I saw was Bob Mackie. And it has the original tags on it. And this was priced at $6, so I paid $3. And it's Bob Mackie wearable art. It's 1X, so it's a nice plus size. It's a really cute jacket. The best I've ever done off a Bob Mackie top was like $50. And that one wasn't new with tags, but it was plus size. So I'm hoping to do at least $40 on these jackets that I found. Because here's the second one. It's another Bob Mackie. It's a 2X. So this one was $3.99, so I paid $2. It's got this embroidery. It's also new with tags. And on the back, it has like an embroidered like maypole. So that would be good for spring. So like I said, hopefully at least $40 on those. And then this was another thing that I've never found before. I know this is a good brand, but I just have never found it. The brand is exclusively Misook. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that properly, but there you have it. And the size tag is kind of worn off on it. It's just like a black sweater. But for me, it's pretty easy to figure out like what size something is just by like doing the measurements. Or if a lot of brands have different like size charts online. So if you do the measurements yourself and then go compare it to the size chart, you can usually figure out, what size it actually is. I'm just really careful in my listing, in my in the condition box. I put, size tag is missing. Please see measurements, so that they are aware that, I'm not positive what size it is, but it's about this size. So this was $3.99 at Goodwill. All right, so the next thing is, like I said, I'm super into blazers and career wear, especially the newer type stuff. So this is Calvin Klein, which is a really good career wear brand for me. And it's just a really beautiful like drape front blazer. It's really pretty. And what size is it? It's a size 6. And this was 96 cents at the 96-cent sale. So hopefully I'll be able to get like, 30 to 40 for this on Posh or eBay. Because career wear actually sells pretty well for me on Posh too. Alright, and then the last thing that I have to show you from my finds for this week is a pair of boots. I've been doing really well with shoes, and I never really bothered to pick them up too much before, but I've been paying a lot more attention, and I find that I actually get a lot more for shoes than I do for clothing, and you can usually find them for pretty inexpensive. So this is a pair of Harley Davidson men's boots, and they're in really good shape. And we went to, I think we got these at the half off sale. So they were originally $26.50. And by the way, you can get this stuff off with like nail polish remover. It gets it off and it doesn't leave any marks or anything because that can be hard to get off. It says ask for boot. But anyway, it was $26.50, so we paid about $13 for these. I'm hoping to get at least 60 or 70 because like I said, they're in really good shape and these seem to do pretty well. So they are men's. So anyways, so that is basically all that I had for today. I hope you guys like this new format. I think it's kind of fun. Personally, I'm going to sort of start stepping away from sharing so much of like my numbers, like how much I do in sales every month and stuff like that. I feel like for some people it frustrates them or it kind of stresses them out to see how much is in sales, and then they expect like a breakdown of like how much of that is profit, and I really just don't want to get into that, but I still want to be helpful and put out desirable content that people like. So I think this would be helpful because it shows you what is selling, and how much it's selling for, and then also what I'm currently picking up, and then like I said, it would be fun to see that show you it when I buy it, and then also hopefully be able to show you it when it sells. So anyways, let me know how you guys like this new format. I think it'll be really fun, and I will see you guys next Monday.